Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto content. Today, we are going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph. No surprise there. It is one of the most bullish projects that I've seen come out in crypto. A lot of people are still kind of looking at prices for it, thinking that it's going to go below 10 cents. We don't really know what's going to happen, but I do know, just right now, I have fiat on the side, just waiting to get some stingy buys lower. Again, doesn't need to happen, but that is my personal conflict with it. Now, if you guys do enjoy the daily HBAR uploads, definitely smash the like button. Tell me why you're very bullish on HBAR as well in the comments below, as I do love to hear from you guys. Now, in regards to this update, yes, we do have some very bullish news coming out that I'm going to be talking about very soon. So first off, we're going to be talking about the market growth of the EV vehicle market. Now, when we talk about this, the reason why we're going to be talking about this is because we have some very bullish news that actually just came out recently. So currently right now, we do see that sales of electronic cars topped 2.1 million globally in 2019, surpassing 2018, already a record year. To boost the stock to 7.2 million electric cars, I should say. One electric cars, which accounted for 2.6% of global car sales and about 1% of global car stock in 2019. Registered a 40% year-on-year increase. So we do see that this is a massive market. We're seeing that it's growing every year. We also see the fastest growth in EV sales have been in Europe, a compound annual growth rate of 60% from 2016 to 2020. We also see compared with increases of 36% in China and 17% in the US. Now, the interesting thing about how the fastest growth in EV sales are in Europe is when we talk about what's about to happen, it is starting in Europe. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. So this is from yesterday. We do see Shell and Deutsche Telekom, which Deutsche Telekom, if you guys don't know, is a governing council member of Hedera. We do see they agreed to advance digital innovation in pursuit of climate goals. We also see here a memorandum of understanding signed to accelerate transitions to net zero. Shell supplies renewable energy to T-Mobile US. And we also see Deutsche Telekom engineers to install more than 10,000 electric vehicle chargers in Germany. We are seeing a lot more advancements with the electronic car industry over in Europe initially. Most things happen overseas before we do see them grow exponentially in the United States. Now, the things that I would like to really kind of pretty much hit the nail on the head here is just the fact that we talk about net zero emissions. We're talking about net zero for a lot of things, especially for an example with Hedera Hashgraph. Hedera Hashgraph is trying to get net zero pretty much everything. We've talked about this even with electric as well, with electricity. Now, when we talk more about this, we do already know that Hedera Hashgraph is the greenest crypto out there. So if they do have a lot of these projects that are building on Hedera Hashgraph that are providing net zero claims and goals of most of these, especially something like this. I mean, this is huge. First off, we've already been talking about electric vehicles for quite some time. The EV market is growing, obviously. It is huge demand, especially for a lot of governments as we try to march into a green society. When we talk about that, we do know that the demand for these goals are extremely high. Now, to see something like Deutsche Telekom, which is a governing council member of Hedera Hashgraph, trying to build at these, or I shouldn't say build, but hit these pain points really hard and pretty much get to that point of pursuing the net zero goals, because we do see that here as well. That's huge, especially for Hedera Hashgraph, knowing that at some point in time, most likely something like this will come to the network overall. Now, we do see here, collaborate on innovations and services to accelerate Shell's digital transformation, work together to identify opportunities to co-invest and participate in new business models focused on decarbonization of society. Now, we also talked about, how they want to do 10,000 EV chargers. That's awesome. That's great. It means that there is a huge demand overall for this. Now, we do see here that the CEO of Deutsche Telekom said that we are committed to acting responsibly along our entire value chain and working together with our clients are pivotal in this. Is pivotal in this, sorry. No individual and no company can solve the climate challenge alone. This is why we have put sustainability at the core of our strategy as we aim to become the leading European full IT service provider. This newly signed MOU allows Shell and Deutsche Telekom to leverage their long-term collaboration, teaming up in new areas that will benefit society. This is what we're talking about, right? We do see we are delighted to deepen our relationship with Deutsche Telekom and help the company to pursue its net zero pledge while progressing our own target to be net zero emissions energy business by 2050. Now, I do know that that is quite some time away. I mean, by that time, I'd basically be about 50 years old myself. I'd actually be 52 to be exact. Now, this is actually very interesting to kind of look at because obviously something like this will take time. But what I want to capitalize on here is the fact that Deutsche Telekom is trying to become the leading European full IT service provider. This allows a lot more transactions and money to kind of flow over the network utilizing Deutsche Telekom and Deutsche Telekom basically utilizing Hedera Hashgraph, if you will. This is actually very interesting. I think that this is very big, especially when we look at the EV market. Like I said, it's ever growing and prospering. And I do think that with the demand from society, I think that's going to grow a lot more overall. Now, I also want to talk to you guys because this actually kind of goes hand in hand with that. And this is the power transition, right? And I talked about this in an earlier video on Hedera Hashgraph. Now, this is talking about power transition as microgrid management platform to transform how energy is used, managed, and traded by governments, businesses, and individuals. Now, we do see that there is 45 enabled homes in Corby, UK. Again, kind of everything happens overseas before it kind of really gets here in the States. We do see $19 billion microgrid market estimate by 2024, so in 3 years. We also see 3 to 5 seconds HBAR finality. Yes, that is right. It's all powered by HBAR. Now, basically the overview or the dumbed down version of this is power transition provides a peer-to-peer energy marketplace and management platform for consumer and business microgrids. The challenge is the team wants to enable a fair, direct peer-to-peer that can unequivocally be trusted by all parties. Solution Hedera was the platform of choice for its stability and high throughput of the cryptocurrency HBAR. So yes, this is all powered by HBAR. Now, when we talk about this, this is again the idea that we even see decentralized governance, security, and stability will be critical to the success of the power transition IMaaS platform. Again, it's all the idea of, first off, security and stability, which we do know that Hedera Hashgraph has the highest grade security and stability. I'm not going to talk too much more about that because you guys already know that. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is this kind of goes hand in hand with that. We do see here technology has quickly improved while reducing costs in supporting tools like batteries and solar panels. At the same time, consumer behavior has shifted, placing an emphasis on green corporations and their own environment footprints. When we talk about net zero carbon emissions for EV vehicles, right? Because EV vehicles don't use any carbon emissions, so that's net zero there. We also have to talk about the idea of net zero electricity. Now, this, in my opinion, is going to try to, pretty much power that, if you will. I do think that this is very interesting to really kind of look at when we also talk about even, for an example, top 5 global utility EDF joins Hedera Governing Council. This is kind of going all into utilities, including, even electricity, right? We do see here, as a recognized global leader in combating climate change, EDF has undertaken to produce increasingly low carbon electricity and achieve carbon neutrality by 2050. That 2050 is always coming up in talks, especially regarding electricity, carbon emissions for EV vehicles. This is huge, right? And we do see here that EDF is a leader in helping customers worldwide leverage blockchain and distributed ledger technologies, DLTs. The company wholly owned subsidiary Exalian, I hope that I said that right, operates blockchain as a service offerings that provide the computing and network infrastructure necessary to roll out projects faster and with high security. They will run a Hedera network node in France, the first in the country. They also run a Tezos node and participates in the Energy Web Foundation, Hyperledger Foundation. The reason why I talk about this and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we even see here, right? They're leveraging the HTS network, which is the Hedera token service, and they look forward to leveraging it to deploy a carbon offsetting credit system on Hedera, in line with our overarching mission. Additionally, we will be exploring other use cases that leverage the technological advantages of speed and security that Hedera brings. So we're still very early in overall development, but when we talk about these use cases, these aren't just like, for example, when we look at transactions, and when we look at like banking, financial services, and use cases like that, yeah, sure, those are big markets and stuff like that. But when we're talking about electricity, getting to net zero emissions, and pretty much getting to that carbon neutrality, that is huge. And I don't need to explain on how big that is, because I'm sure that anybody who has some common sense will know that this is extremely huge. I think that at some point in time, yeah, I mean, I've been talking about environmental sustainability for quite some time on this channel. I think that is a big pain point for a lot of governments. I think governments will pretty much, provide a ton of grant money to get to that point as well. And I think that at the end of the day, by 2050, I'm sure that will probably be, carbon neutral and sustainable for the entire planet. I mean, who knows? There's a lot of work to do, but all I know is that Hedera Hashgraph seems to be playing a big role in a lot of things, including not only electricity, but also electric vehicles as well. The electric vehicle market, we even seen Tesla, right? Tesla's huge because of its claims. Now, me personally, I don't really believe in Tesla, just because, think about it, right? You have an electric vehicle that's getting shipped on a diesel truck. It makes no sense. It's kind of offsetting the overall goal there. But I've talked about that multiple times, and I've talked about my concerns with Tesla and the EV market. Now, me personally, I do think that Hedera Hashgraph will play a big role in carbon neutrality as well. But we also see that they're leveraging, Hedera for multiple things, not only for, its speed or security or anything like that. I mean, we are seeing a lot more use cases being found via Hedera's network. So this is very interesting to look at. Very bullish as well. This is why it's a long-term play for me. I mean, this could be an easy 20-year hold. I mean, I'm just saying. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, this is Nick here. I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. If you guys do want more free content, you guys can follow me on Twitter at NCashOfficial. You guys can also join the free Discord down in the description below. I hope that you guys are enjoying the Hbar content. I love giving you guys these updates and pretty much talking to you guys. I do at some point in time want to collaborate with more people and kind of talk more about Hedera Hashgraph and really kind of talk about the goals of it as well. So with that being said, I'll talk to you guys later in another update. This has been Nick. Peace out.